Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Tonight is a dreary, windy, rainy Sunday evening, and I have a very simple, inexpensive fall DIY that you can do with children. You could do with teenagers. If you don't want to use hot glue in this DIY, you could use white craft glue. And if you are dealing with little ones, you could even skip the glue and go with clear tape if you choose. Either way, it is a really easy and really cute fall DIY. So let me show you what you're going to need. Let's get into it. DIY. I will be using my fall maple leaves. Now, I don't know yet how many I'm actually going to need, which is why I have both handy. There's 50 pieces in each pack. I may have some left over. I don't know yet. I'm also going to be using my twine. Again, not sure yet if I'm going to be using one roll or two. I will be using hot glue with my DIY. But if you want to do this DIY with children, you could actually use some white craft glue, or even if you want to skip the glue altogether, you could also go with clear tape. I'm also going to be using a piece of foam board and a plate, as I will be tracing an outline on the foam board with the plate. Alright, so while my hot glue is warming up, I didn't exactly measure out, but I want to say it's probably about 3 feet in length of twine, and I tied it together at the one end and cut off the excess, so it's going to be a double strand of twine. I think that will look nicer when I go to attach my leaves on. They should lay nicer, and it should just give it a little more stability by having the two strands together. What I'm going to do is try to separate the leaves by color and pattern. Yellow and orange in a pile, orange in a pile, mostly red in a pile. And the reason I'm doing this is I want to try to include a variety in my color scheme here as far as attaching my leaves. So all my green are going over here in the pile, and these are mostly yellow, and then these are some separate yellow and yellow with a little bit of orange. So I'm going to try to alternate my my color pattern, so everything is not all kind of clustered with just one particular color. Going to be gluing my leaves on, trying to develop a pattern here. So next I'm going to go with a pretty yellow, and I'm actually probably just going to do that, as I said, at an angle. I don't want them all to be facing the same direction. I want them to look nice, and I think by doing them in different directions, different angles, that would look just so much nicer. So I'm going to go with my yellow. I'm going to be applying some hot glue to the twine right there. Pulling it tight. And I'm going to attach it like this. It does stick to the paper for a moment, But then when the hot glue is cooled down, you can just lift it right off the newspaper. So that's not an issue. And you can actually work fairly quickly in applying your leaves to the twine. So do that one like this. And once you start gluing, as I said, you can work relatively quickly. Here is my garland, my completed garland so far. And as I said, you can peel a little bit of newspaper that may attach right off. It's not a big deal. To attach my garland to the paneling, we had to experiment with some clear tape, how big to actually roll the pieces of tape up. I mean, we have a piece in the middle on top on each end, and on the bottom, yeah, that size over just at least a little bit, but all in all, I think it looks really, really cute for fall. Just make sure prior to hanging that you remove your glue strings from the hot glue, and any traces of paper that might be on the back. Although if there is a little piece or two, it really doesn't affect this. When this is dry, it is really, really sturdy, and you have a really nice fall garland, simple home decor item that will last you several years. For my next leaf project, a matching simple little wreath, I'm using a half of a piece of foam board. I didn't have a whole full piece of foam board, so I'm just going with a half piece. And I'm just tracing the outline of one of my plates. Just going completely around with my pen. Shoot my candles. And yes, Oreo bumped my coffee earlier tonight. So there is a little coffee stain on there, but that's okay because it's going to be getting covered up. This is going to be my middle. This part is going to be getting cut out. This is going to be my small wreath form. Here is my wreath frame, and as I said, this is going to be a small one because I'm only able to use a half of a usable piece of foam board. I don't have a complete unused piece of foam board, but that's okay because this is going to complement my leaf garland, and this is going to look really, really cute. So my usual easy way of making a hanging loop for my wreath is to always start at the top with that. That gives me my direction of where my bottom is, my sides, and how I'm actually going to arrange things just based on where my hanging loop is. So that is out of the way, and that's going to be getting covered up anyway, so you're only going to see the loop. And when it's all done, I'm going to trim off that excess. leaves in different orders. So, going to start with a green. Right up on top. I'll put a green one down here. Just holding that in place for a second. And I'm just going to proceed to put one in each corner like so. Next, I'm going to work on my yellow. Again, sort of the same concept. I'm pretty much just going to go in a different direction with them. Doesn't really matter which side you start on. Just going to do the same thing. You want to make sure that you don't see the foam board. So here is my wreath so far. And, excuse me, I can't talk. As you can see, what I am doing is basically, once I got the colors down that I wanted to go, sectioning it off into quarters, I just started layering on top of each other to fill in gaps. So I'm going to keep on doing that. And then when I have all the gaps filled in, I'm going to top off with the red leaves. My bright, well, not bright red, but my red leaves. So in this pack, I have 6 of them. And these are pretty much going to be the finale. So again, I'm going to be working in quarters. And I'm going to be just gluing a red leaf over each of them. So I'm just placing to show you what I'm doing. And I have one right there. While my wreath is drying, I'm pulling off some of the glue strings, which you know, you use hot glue, you always have some glue strings. How pretty is that? So there is my little matching wreath to go with my garland. I think, like I said, waiting to add the red leaves last gives it that really nice pop of color on top of the yellows and orangish yellows, and just really ties all those colors together. And I think that with the matching garland, this looks really, really nice for fall. Well guys, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, hit my subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care, stay safe, and I will see you all on the next one. Good night.